Hey there, Boots Owen here. I went shopping last night and this is the aftermath. This here, this stuff in the center, something like that. Let's go through it because I have to go through it anyways and sort out what I want to keep and to get rid of and whatnot. So there's a bag of shoes here from before. We can fill that up with shoes. These are all taken out of dustbins, I think, mostly, or off doorsteps or whatever. It rained, so I'm trying to chase that bead of water away. In fact, there's an easy way of doing that, so that everything doesn't get wet. And this will be like a recap at the end, or a standalone video, or both. I might make both. So let's get into it. I found a microwave. So, well, I don't know. I found a microwave, that's true. That's a bin started for scrap metal, and so small things that could be recycled as scrap metal. And I should put some gloves on. It rained today, yeah, it was dry for the last 2 weeks, and that was cool. Last night was a bit of a weird one, which may be the start of this video, or the first 2 hours of this video if I do it that way. Bit of a weird one, because I was tired, but I was also elated that this whole nonsense of students moving out was coming to an end. There we are, wire cutters. These aren't the ones that I would normally use out here, but there they are. Okay. There's just stuff everywhere at the moment. I found this little lectern before. So it's from the microwave up to the end is what I got last night. I found a similar amount of stuff at lunchtime, which is in a separate video. There was no picking at that video, but just no picking, but just the aftermath or the spoils. There's another toaster and a plug and wire. Clean wire then should go in its own bag. I think that's this one. It's a little bit hectic around here. More frying pans. This is clean wire. So put it over here. When the ends are cut off, it becomes clean. That shouldn't be in there. It's a solar cable connector thing. Leave that there. Right. It's the bottom of some kind of a blitzer, blender, something like that. More saucepans now. What's this? A skirt. I found a nice pair Calvin Klein jeans. See, they might fit me. There's a bit of something yellow on them, which may or may not wash off. And what we'll do, I don't know, maybe that's something like expanding foam. I don't know. Another saucepan. If they fit me, I'll probably keep them to wear. Now here's iPhone cables, and I generally look at them, and if they look okay, I'll test them. That one's got a crack and a bend, and I won't bother. I've got enough to keep me going, but occasionally I run out of them. Lee jeans. Covered in fake tan, but they look okay. Put them there. Yeah, so the way I see it is, at the very least, I can put these into a proper recycling stream than the fly tipping that they wear, or the dustbin that they wear in. And that applies to everything here. Urban Outfitters. I found those with their labels on. Remember, crazy skate fit jeans. Now I don't know if they're for me, but they might be for somebody. The fact they have a label on, sometimes those things are valuable. Right, that's a bag then. You're going to be a frying pan, aluminium bag. So last night was cool because I've only been scrapping with Matthew one time before. There's part of an angle poise. Now I wanted that because that is ideal to make a camera holder, and I think the clamp is in here too. Yeah, that all looks a bit weird, but I think that's it. It needs a screw, so I'm going to save that, put it into the possible pile. found a bathroom scale, and I like them because they don't have batteries. It's a generic something, but it's ideal, so that can replace a battery one that's inside. I found that slug of lead, which is just worth a few quid as it is. Get that out of the way. More pans, more pans, more pans, more pans. Every kilo of that is worth about 89p, I think, or 86p, or some number like that. Come on, plugs, get out of here. There's nothing special about any of these toasters. It doesn't say dual it on it. I'm not interested. The toaster count is up to 3. I've done in the past is saved up plugs and picked the plugs apart for brass, but it's an absolute torture to do molded plugs. So now what I've been doing is saving the screw apart plugs, because I can deal with them myself quite easily. You just need a screwdriver, and it's quite like this job here. It's quite a relaxing thing to do. I found this guy, and it's an Amazon something. I can't see what it says here. Amazon C78 MP8. I presume that's some kind of a something for like a smart speaker or something. I don't know anything about them, so I'm going to keep that aside. A box. Oh, that scale didn't like that. A box for a video game. Now, more cables. Headphones, I'm not even going to bother cutting because they're painful. Oh no, look at this. Right. Well, that's a useful little iPhone adapter, because I never use headphones, and it's the kind of thing that will come in handy. In a video a while ago, I think I found something that I thought was AirPods, and it wasn't. What it was a fold-up Apple charger. Quite a sweet one. Now, what's on here? They're all Juice iPhone charging cables. And I'm going to try them and test them to see if they work. And that's a generic iPhone cable, so I'm not going to test that. Not that Juice is not anything other than generic. I think that's a vacuum cleaner cord off a small hand vacuum. So there's a trick here. If you cut the cable further up that metal molding, not metal, plastic molding, you get a little bit more weight. In theory it adds up, I don't know. EWaste Ben spoke about it before, but this is a thing. It's made out of aluminium, so it's recyclable, but you put a nitrous oxide can in there and it pierces it. You put a balloon over the end before you screw it down, and it captures the nitrous oxide gas from the little canisters for your delectation. A blue spot, it's number 8, and a silver line number 10, which will just go into the pile of things to get used. Now, 1 bag, 2 bags down. So what's next? Jeans. ASOS. I think I took them because they're my size. They might do me. Like the way I treat clothes, when you get clothes for free, it's easy to treat them in a way that's, well, disrespectful perhaps is the best word. So this is a huge LED lamp thing. Takes DMX in and DMX out, so I think you can daisy chain it, and so I think you have to run it off an audio feed or a special lighting feed. Color projecting light. I don't know how to test it, but I might make a video about that separately. I thought it was interesting, and it's just got a standard plug on it, so might work, probably works. Set it aside. More Vans. Found a lot of Vans recently. Frying pans. That's not aluminium, that looks like steel. So I have to test if it's stainless or not, and then I'll sort it out. Clip-on desk lamp. Now, it would be a shame to cut the cable on this but that's precisely what I'm going to do. So I have no energy to try and sell it or use it for anything else. There's a plug which will have brass, and a cable which is recyclable straight away for cash. That must have been a wire cut off something. A little purse. Was there money in this? Why did I take this? Primark bus ticket. I don't know why I took that. I don't really want that. A laptop cable and a charger for something. 5V DC. I don't know what that's for. A Lenovo charger for a laptop. I've got to process that bag of wire there another day. Micro USB. What's this? USB to something. That's an interesting cable. Put that over there. See, if you find things you don't know what they are. There's a dead iPhone cable. If you find things you don't know what they are, like there's a keyboard I found and I've got to find where the cable's gone for that, because it came with a cable and I've lost it. That's a micro USB and it's not a good one, and I have enough of them to be going on with for now. A Great Primo, that's a bag slasher. Great knife, that's a pretty fancy one. Looks like you can replace the blade in it or move it along or something. Useful tools. A hot water bottle covered in toast and a sparkly hip flask. The hot water bottle was barely used, if it was used, so I took it. Another bag down. Electric toothbrush in pink and working. There's, you know, the brush is not there, so it doesn't matter to me. I just quite happily use that. I don't know which bag the cable for the keyboard was in. I'm getting a bit annoyed about that now. Right, so this pod can go over here. A pair of Carhartt work in progress jeans, but the guts are ripped out of them, and I think they're a nice pair of jeans. I like Carhartt. They're trendy, and I might repair them actually if I think it's worth it. Although, you know, Jasper Conran jeans denim jacket. I think it's a girl's one, but I know someone who might like that. Another pair of Urban Outfitters. You go on a kind of a run. I found a lot of Pull and Bear one day. Dishwasher salt, and there's another dishwasher salt up here. They will just go into the house to be used in the dishwasher. The half one will just go straight in, the other one will go in later on. Typical Girls, volume 5. It's a bit of vinyl, I don't know what it is. It looks like it came free with a magazine or stuck to something, so it'll stick on there for now. A thing of tea bags that is unused, which I'll try, and if they're anyway good, I'll use them. Tuna from Lidl. I got some tins here, so tuna, onions, pizza cutter I don't really need, baked beans. So there's a juice bar, radio, not a radio, speaker, and another speaker which is made by DCSS, wireless Bluetooth. So I'll see if they work. Can't do much more with them. I don't know if they have any value, but it just seems a shame to throw them out. This is the cord off an electric blanket that I found, and another cord off a lamp. So that's the electric blanket controller. Probably a useful remote switch, that, if you could. No, Aerobed, maybe it's something else. I don't know. Actually, is that a useful remote switch for, I don't know. Not right now. There's so many projects on the go that it would be a useful remote switch for a power tool or something like that. A low voltage power, not low voltage, but a low powered power tool. That's a smart little lamp. Probably nothing particularly special. Plastic. 25 watt regular bulb desk lamp. in the bin. In the bin. I don't remember where that came from. I must have just picked it up on the go. So that's stuff to go into the kitchen in that bag. 2 more to go. A box of washing powder, which Ariel Original, so I might use that in the garage for cleaning things, like workshop things. And a box of Persil Non-Bio, which is, as far as I'm concerned, a premium brand of washing powder. Another thing of dishwasher salt. Whoa. A log of sawdust, which at the very least I can burn, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But it seemed too good to pass by. Right, so some more food here. Tomato soup, sweet corn, a bar of Pear's soap, which as far as I'm concerned, there's no smell, it's just fine to put beside the sink. Now I got a set of speakers here. There's a mixed bag here actually. So these are interesting NASA type things. First of all, curtain hooks. DVDs from Oxfam, Trainspotting and Gone Girl. Now, review of Soviet literature, Surface of the Moon. Astronomy and physics, aerodynamic constant analysis. I just think they're kind of cool. Things from Lockheed. Don't know if they have a value, don't know if I'd like to read them. We'll find out. Maybe you won't, but I will. This is a little speaker set for a computer. So I'll try not to treat it too rough. I'll put it in there with the shoes. It's missing, it looks like it's a bit stoved in actually. The center of the speaker. Right, what's next? I think there's a console coming up soon. That's a kettle cable base. Now this is an extension cord of the cheapest variety, riveted shut. You can smash them open with a hammer to get brass out of them, but the effort is more than the thing is worth as far as I'm concerned. So that goes in cable, and that goes in there. A decent looking mouse. That might be for me. I'll take a mouse because I haven't got one and I should really start using these things. I've been editing on a laptop. I'm trying to set up a desk scenario and, well, basically not doing it. Another micro USB. I think it's a mini USB I need, but I have a lot of micros. Now here's a telephone wire thing. DSL splitter, I think. These jeans don't look the cleanest, but River Island, yeah, they need a wash before I touch them again. Right, I think this is a console, is it? Some kind of a console. Black Wii, I think. And the scissors, bizarrely. I don't want them. And I got some controllers. Right, and a game. And a Blu-ray. Twilight. A book, is it? Some of this weird wire for LEDs, fairy lights. Does that have batteries in it to recycle? Probably. Yeah, I'll recycle them separately. Now there's one of those, now that's a new cable, and that's one of those new style things. The GoPro charges on that, so we'll save that. And that's another one of those. Red. Wow, double-sided JBL, double-sided USB. I'm gonna have a look at that, see if it works. I think this is the cable for the keyboard. If it's 12 volt it is, so I'll save that. I'll put that in. The keyboard's moved into the kitchen already. And it's gotten a clean. Protein bars, which I thought were too good to pass up on. Some fish in tins. Some tin foil. And a double adapter plug, and a book, the Kite Runner, and we're nearly there. Right, now this is kind of foolish stuff. I thought that was reduced from 300 to 30 in TK Maxx, and I thought that might be worth money on the internet. I don't know if it is, so I'll check it out. White is a dangerous colour, and a, what's this, Levi's jacket, which I think might fit me. So, and the colouredy thing, I don't know, I just saw it and thought that's cool. A book which I'd like to read, Uncle Tom's Cabin, meant to be an important piece of something. 2 ramekins, I guess you'd call them, probably from Tapas, bought in Taste the Difference is Sainsbury's, I think. So from Tapas, I'll use them as plant pot things. A bottle opener, which is just handy. Keys, which can be recycled as brass. How often was that frying pan used? The non-stick is damaged, but it's probably okay. But that's not going to get used. A hot plate, which I think is useful. So I'll test that and see if it works, and clean it if it does. Now, we're getting there, nearly there. I'm covered in washing powder by the looks of it. Kettle plug. Something's a bit sticky in here. So, more frying pans. 3. Phone to USB, DSL, whatever it is to USB. Would that ever be handy? Looks a bit heated or overheated or something there. These are LED lights. Those are busted, really busted headphones. LED lights. So you might say this isn't that interesting a job. Well, I find this quite peaceful to do. If I'm not talking to the camera, if I can just be with my own thoughts, I find this quite a peaceful job to do, so I don't often record doing this kind of thing. But it's worth showing it. That's a kettle lead for computers or whatever, but it's got one of these suicide Chinese plugs on it, unfused. It says 10 amp 250 volts. It's probably fine. I presume Big Clive and John Ward and other people have done, in fact the wires look tiny inside it. Those guys have done videos on them to show how crazy they are. There's a mouse, but it's got no buttons, which is a bit strange. Yeah, those plugs are meant to be Chinese death traps. Now I got a nice plant and I got a nice big cornflakes bowl. What's this? Another iPhone. I'm kind of at the point where I've had enough of them, unless they're genuine or branded. A charger. It's 12 volt, Babyliss, 5.5 volts. That's a one for a beard trimmer probably. So don't need that. I'm going to save that connector because it might do for the other keyboard that I was given recently that doesn't have a power supply. That looks like a standard figure of 8 cable. I have a few of those. So we're getting near the end. Another micro. So what did we learn? That when students move out, they make a ferocious mess. There was an interaction in this video somewhere further back. LED controller module. A video further back where I spoke, a bit of the video further back, I spoke to a guy outside his house, presumably moving out, student presumably. I'm making things up now, I'm judging people. And he said it's a disgrace or something like that, and I said, well, stuff you've lived with all year, and you and your colleagues on your neighbours on your street have lived this way with this stuff all year. you know, it's rubbish, it's a mess, but equally, maybe I misunderstood what point he was trying to make, but equally, you know, all this dirty stuff has been in your bathroom or in the... Oh, I wanted a cable. I wanted one of those for something. Let's just cut that off. Started at the wrong end. So it is. That feels Apple-y. They don't put Apple's name on the cable, so you don't know. Now, what's that? Is it lime mortar, which I was working with earlier on, or is it hummus? There's a very short and new micro, so I'll keep that. Is that a variegated aloe vera? Gasteria Duval. I don't know, that's what that is then. I'll put moisture in there and that will come back to life because it's a pretty solid little plant. And then last but not least, I picked it up at the very start, a little block of lead off the street. They blow off the roof. Let's try and shake out this bit of dirt. So what's the point of that anyways? The guy, you know, it is rubbish, it is a mess, but it's stuff that people have lived with all year. You know, it's your mess, mate. Just making it worse, am I? I think it looks like hummus, but I don't know where it came from. It's your mess, you've lived with it all year, so you're only judging yourself by saying things that it's a mess, or like, you know, you guys have made this mess. So I might see if that microwave works. We don't use one, but it's a real simple Sharp. Sharp's a good brand, it's a real simple one, so if it works, I could give it a clean and use it. I also found an air fryer, and I've never used one of those. And how grim is it? Like, in reality, it's pretty clean. So I can give that a clean. I saw another air fryer as well. That's a Tower one. Odds are all these things work because the students buy them at the start of the year, and then at the end of the year they just throw things away. So then, what's next? I'll keep sorting, I'll keep putting away, tidying up. Oh, I got some weights, I think yesterday, and a bike helmet. And the bike helmet might fit me. It is definitely, well, it doesn't show any signs of scratches or anything. I'll give it a closer look. Brown hair. And see what I think of it. Barbecue lighter fluid. Football boots. A spill kit for a dinghy engine. Like a boom that goes out in the ocean. A large butcher's block. Henry I had before. What's over here? Air fryer. More saucepans. Pedal for mixing with. Bag of charcoal. 2 glue guns. 2 skateboards, a penny board and a regular deck, a vacuum cleaner that I think I just have to scrap because the nozzle is all smashed up, so it won't accept the accessory that comes with it, so I'll have to just scrap that. What other treasure do I see around here? I don't know, from these bins. More clothing, coats, loads of jeans. Where does it end? I don't know. Tell me your thoughts on what I've done. Tell me your thoughts on what the students have done. It's a lose-lose situation really, because everybody's got to move and nobody's thinking ahead. I guess, like, I'm not patting myself on the back here. I'm trying to do something. Matthew, who was out with me last night, is trying to do something, and Andy, who came out as well, is interested in it and brought home some stuff off camera later on. The camera died when we were in the car, and we had to keep going, and we just stayed out for about another half hour or so, and it was just overwhelming last night, and I was exhausted. But there you go. It's a disgrace, and some of us are trying to make a positive out of a negative. Questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, just thanks for watching, and I might do it again next year. See you later.